Greetings YouTubers, it's the big guy here, Big Jim, in his 2003 TX2 London Taxi International that's punting on for 280,000 miles plus on the clock. Now that's, if I say that enough times everyone, you're you'll remember that and you'll be repeating it in your sleep. A very good Tuesday morning to you. It's the 4th, is it? I don't know. When I'm on holiday, it just one day just merges into another. I just love it. We've got sun out today this morning. The time is 11:40 in the morning UK time. I'm just going to get over this junction here, which is a little bit, because I've got a head like a pigeon, as you can see. There we go, we're out. Yeah, it's 11:40 in the morning UK time. It's a nice day out here, but the precipitation for rain is 70%. We've had a little bit of a shower this morning. You see, when you join this channel, you don't only get taxi news, you get what's happening all around my area, all around Arundel, Littlehampton and Worthing, on the south coast of England. I mean, come on. It might not be relevant, but that's what you get. So everyone, a very good morning to you. Just a big thank yous in order to all of you out there. Apart from the fact that you're really brilliant at coming back to me, and I'm trying my best to sort of get to you when you leave comments and everything like that, but I didn't realise that every month I get an email from YouTube and it tells me how many new subscribers have joined us, how many minutes have been watched of my drivel coming out of this mouth, and it's just going up and up and up. I'm not quite sure why, but whatever we're doing collectively together, gang, we're doing well. I'm just a bit surprised, that's all, because I thought it was just going to be sort of half a dozen of us here, possibly if I was lucky, sort of just chatting away about taxis, but of course now everything's expanded, we're sort of chatting on about a lot more. So great stuff. I think it's something like total minutes actually watched is something like about, is it 12,000? I didn't even have a proper look this morning because I needed to get out, but it's a lot of you doing a lot of viewing, listening to a lot of what I'm saying. So we must be doing something right somewhere. We've got the mix just right. So again, I'd like to thank you all for that. Just welcome on board all you new people that are coming on board, all you people that are just coming onto this now and just seeing a big guy in reflective glasses, and you'll know why I've got them if you look at some of my previous blogs. Guy in glasses, you can just sort of you can see, I think I've got something like about 20, 25, 20 odd, I really don't know, 20 odd videos up here at the moment, which they just sort of just come out, and especially on holiday I can do a lot more of them. One thing I do need to report, I need to put a bit more oil on my spring because I've got a minor squeak there on my spring, so I need to do that again, but I know exactly what that is now, so I'm in no mad rush to do that. It's nothing serious, so we're okay there. But everything else going on Poppy on the TX2 at present is going really, really well. I've got her booked in for the end of the month for an MOT, and I'm sending her across to our specialist guys based in Chessington in Surrey. I'm going to have a little drive up there for the day. My brother lives in Sutton, so we'll probably meet up for a half a lager and a ploughman's lunch somewhere while they're in there doing the MOT. Yeah, it's a long way to go across for an MOT, but I've now come to the conclusion that them guys know exactly what they're talking about with regards to bits off the shelf to buy. That's all they service and fix. So if there's anything that I can't really handle, i.e. too big, because I've not got a garage, I haven't got a ramp, I've not got a pit area, so I'm fairly limited on what I can and can't do. I'm just going to get the AA if all worst happens. Touch Formica that looks like Walnut Dash. I'll get it down to them to sort out. Poppy and I now are sort of a team now. Do you know, like when you get a motor and it probably takes you 6 months to a year before you can really start to trust it, especially one that's done as many miles as you know your taxi or my taxi has. I mean, with this baby up at, or this old girl, she's not listening, it's all right, up to 280,000. That's a lot of mileage. So it's not only the ancillary product components. You know, it's the chassis, it's the heart, it's the frame, it's the whole thing of the cab is like old and it's worn. You know, and it sort of takes a while to sort of get some faith. If you ever bought a second-hand motor before, you're sort of gingerly wondering, well, I am anyway, what am I going to face next? Why are they selling it? Why have I got it? Is something about to go bang? Hope you can hear me. Very strong winds at the moment, but it's lovely. And that's what I had with Poppy. When I first got her, as I said to you in one of my first videos, she wasn't driving very well. She was alright going forward, but she didn't like stopping, and there was quite a lot wrong with her. I had to change belts and, you know, really some deep work done on her. But I'm sort of right on the cusp now of having my faith with her, and that all tied over completely now because I've been all underneath her and checked everything else out. Once I get my first MOT on it, which is planned for September, but I'm not going to be going as far as September. I'm going to be getting her in August, and so I'm going for the 13-monther, which you're allowed to do on your MOT. Once these guys who know what they're doing go through it with a fine-tooth comb and give it a full parcel of health, because I'm one of these guys that, yeah, we've all known in the past that there's a guy that's a little bit more lax than the guy up the road. Oh, he's a bit dodgy, he'll pass that. I don't want to do that. I've got 4 wheels that are keeping me on the ground, and I need to know they're safe. I need to know that they're going to stop me, they're going to help me steer out of any issues that should come and keep me safe, basically. So I want it done properly, you know. And if there is something that's wrong there, then either myself or, like I said, if it's something a little bit more serious, collectively they can take it on board and put Poppy right for an MOT. Again, perhaps that is just me, but I've always been the same, you know. Tyres always need to be good. Everything needs to be good. Oil changes are all done at regular intervals. It's just me. It's just the way that I am, and that's the way that I'm going to be with this cab. Apart from that, everything else is all hunky-dory. Like I said, I'm on my way out this morning. I'm just sort of going out to have meet someone and have a little sort of drink, but only half a shandy, and talk work and bits and pieces and loads of old rubbish. But I'll be back by sort of 2ish or 3ish, and again, because I'm on holiday, I've got all the day to myself. I don't need to go to the other side of the world as long as I'm away from my working environment. I'm my own boss. I'm doing my own thing. I've packed myself a few little sandwiches today as well, and a cold drink of some sort of fruit juicy thing. I'm happy. So that's me. I'm going to keep this one fairly short because taxi wise, this is probably why you've come on here. She's just going absolutely fine. She's going absolutely fine. My son-in-law Ashley, what's really weird, I was talking to him. He's a garden designer and a house refurbisher. He's got his own business, Dowding Property Refurbishment, and he's based in the Worthing area. And I'm throwing him a free plug there. I should be charging him for this because I'm getting so popular. Dowding Property Refurbishment and grounds maintenance. You'll be able to find him if you're in this manner. He has got a tipper truck that he uses for his work. It's quite a big business now, but he's still local in the sense that he keeps his customers as important. You know, they're the king. He's on Checker Trade as well. He's good at what he does. Very busy, but he's good at what he does. Anyway, I digress. He has got a tipper truck, and funny enough, he's got exactly the same engine in his tipper that he does all his garden stuff in. 2.4 Duratorque engine, exactly the same one as the one that's underneath here. And I didn't realise it. It's just that he came out to the cab and he went, hang on, I recognise that engine. And then we went back to his, and it is in fact the same engine, the 2.4, although his one is a lot more modern, his tipper. And he said exactly the same thing, that because the tipper's quite heavy as well, it's not very fuel efficient with regards to what you'd get off of some cars. They're flicking the overdrive now. Here she comes. Bonk. There we go. He's getting about the same, 32 to 34 miles to the gallon around town, which is exactly the same as what I'm getting. So when you think about it, they're not very, very fuel efficient, and it really doesn't seem to matter how you drive them either. Drive them hard, drive them slow, they just sort of putter around at 34 miles to the gallon. I suppose for a diesel you think that's not very good, but it's an automatic box on here, and also it's a heavy old lump. Ton and a quarter, is it? Ton and a half. It's sort of pulling a lot, and it's pulling me as well, although I'm not that heavy. It's just that the lens always adds a few pounds to your gang. You just sort of, you don't buy this for fuel economy, hence why I've said I am thinking of getting myself a little second motor, parking this up in my work QTH, and then between the two of them probably use the small motor backwards and forwards to work all day, and then just use old Poppy on special occasions, because we've got all the pit and the ramp area up there when I can get on it to do work, because we deal with a lot of PCV vehicles and a lot of vehicles that are sort of that go out and do school services. So it's quite an active yard for West Sussex where I work. So my job basically involves moving, putting bums on seats, making sure vehicles are in the right place where they should be, making sure the crews are in the right place where they should be, including the helpers and the assistants, and it's really just keeping sort of managing about 75 staff and making sure that they're all in the right places and doing what they should do. It's mainly an office-based job now, which I must admit I'm not the greatest a fan about, because I used to drive, as I said to you before, I don't know if I told you, I've got all classes PCV, all classes LGV. Basically, if it's on the road, on my driving licence, I can drive it. It's, you know, I can drive, you know, it's there. And I still, as an old man, keep that retained. I've still retained that, although I have to have a medical now every 5 years to hold on to that licence. But I do. And I did pass. I passed one about 3 in March, April, May, June, July. About 4 or 5 months ago I passed, and I've got clean bill of health, he said. vehicle though. He did say, "Oh, you're a little bit overweight, son," and I did say to him, "Yeah, I know, Doc, sorry." But he was equally looking at me like a mirror image, because he wasn't far smaller than me, believe me. It was a case of do as I say and not as I do myself. And so I've passed that. And also I'm a PCV minibus driving assessor as well. I drive and assess. I can go out and assess drivers for suitability and their capabilities of working and driving a minibus. So that's what I basically do. So that's why you never get me rushing around. And you probably on the forward-facing camera, you probably saw as well how sort of steady I do drive. I mean, I've been driving since the age of 17, and now I'm 60 without a brake, and touch plastic that looks like walnut. Just going to flick this down as I'm going up a hill. I've never ever had a blameworthy accident. I know the old adage is no, but I've caused a lot. I don't believe I have caused any. I class myself as a very, very safe driver. And perhaps that's why this vehicle, because it's so solid and safe, I feel so comfortable behind it. One of my pet hates is bad driving. I cannot stand bad driving. I loathe it. I loathe bad driving. There is no need for it. I loathe road rage as well. There's no need for it. Give people time. Go back to the old days. Listen to me, the good old days. Go back to the old days of where we all had time for people. Where you would sort of, I'd come to a road junction, and even though in the slow moving traffic you had the right of way, you'd look and give me a nod, and out I would come, stick my hand out the window or through the back window thanking you. What's happened to them days? Why is everybody right this close, you know, behind you, wanting to sort of push you faster and faster than you should? I mean, the classic example now, I've got a transit van that's about 150 yards behind me at the moment, but he's tearing up the road. No, it's a Volkswagen, sorry. And before long, he's going to be joining me in the front seat here. Why is this? Why do people drive like this? What are you getting out of it? You're getting into work, you're getting yourself stressed up, wherever you're going, you're already like fired up, because the guy in front of you wasn't doing five miles an hour more than you wanted him to do. And it might be that guy at that period in time didn't feel capable of going an extra 5 miles an hour more. You know, as we all know, the speed limit is something that you can take up to. It's not a mandatory thing. If the road and the conditions dictate that you can't reach those speeds safely, then just take your foot off the throttle. I mean, I'm doing 54 now, and this is a 60 mile an hour stretch of road. I feel that this is quite fast enough, really. Poppy would go faster if I was to stick my foot down, but not today, because wherever I'm going, I don't want to get there and feel stressed and wound up and knotted before I get there. So basically that's me, everyone. That's the way I feel about life. Okay guys, look, I'm going to cut this one short. I said I would. I think I've been on for about 15 minutes. Thank you very much for joining. Please subscribe. Remember, we're on our way collectively to 1 million. And I think I've got something like about 40 odd people now? But that's 40 of you that I never knew before. So I thank you all for that, for joining me. From Mighty Oaks, Little Acorn started it. So that's what we are at the moment. We're a little acorn, but we will become a mighty oak, I reckon, if we're allowed. So I will let you people go now. Thank you very much for listening to my drivel, and no doubt I will be back to you very, very shortly for another round of gym. Okay, everyone, thanks a lot. Nice speaking to you. Ciao.